Hi guys, in this episode of the Nostalgia Trip, I am excited to be finally sitting down to react to a movie from the early 2000s that, like many of the things that I have covered on the channel, is near and dear to my heart. That being one of the last potentially good adventure movies, the 2006 movie, The Curse of King Tut's Thumb. Now, for those of you who don't know anything about this movie was actually originally supposed to be a miniseries, but was turned into a movie. Hence, the crazy length of this movie. This movie is 3 hours long. It's insane how long it is, honestly, considering what it is, I feel like. And it's basically the same situation as what it happened with the Snyder Cut, I guess. It was intended to be like a miniseries at a time, then it was turned into like a super long movie and everything. Hell, when I was a kid, this movie was actually shown in 2 parts on TV. I even have the 2 parts. That's part 1, that's part 2 on DVD. And since when I watched this movie when I was a kid, I watched it in parts, and because of how long it actually is, if you do not watch it in parts, I have decided to split this reaction into several parts. 3 to be exact, because it's a 3-hour long movie. That is not the only reason why I've decided to do that. There's 2 other reasons, like the fact that it's just gonna be too much for me to like sit down for 3 hours with no break and just watching the movie for so long, especially considering that it doesn't really have the best reputation for quality, and I've only watched it like 2 or 3 times when I was a child, and in a dub, not really the original version, in the original language, which is English. I've watched the dubbed version in my native language, and dubs like that can improve a movie. And from what I've heard, this is not really that well regarded of a movie in many ways, shape, or form. We'll see how I will personally feel about it, but that's one of the reasons why I don't want to just watch it in one sitting. Like, I want to stop and take a break a little bit. And the final reason why I'm going to be splitting it into 3 parts is because it's just going to be easier for me to edit, because it was already a pain to edit, like, movies in general. Like the ones that I have reacted to so far have mostly been like hour and a half, around that time. I've only edited one movie that was 2 hours, that being House of Wax, which was the last movie that I edited, and that one almost kind of killed me in a way, because it took me like 2 days to edit it. So having this movie be 3 hours and then editing it into one video is just not gonna work out. So it's just easier for me to keep it into 3 separate parts, because I can easily edit all the 3 parts into their own videos, and I can keep so much of the footage from the movie actually if I do that, because it would basically allow me to keep 15 seconds of each minute of this movie into the reaction. How crazy is that? And also, just to make it easier for you guys, I will be linking all of the parts in the description down below, as well as a link to the playlist for this movie reaction, to make it easier for you. But yeah, I think that's all I've had to cover with this movie. I'm really excited. I'm hoping that I'm going to enjoy it. I expect that probably it's not going to be as good as I remember it, but let's hope that it's going to be fun at the very least. But before we get into the reaction, I do want to remind you that you can get a full-length version of this reaction over on my Patreon or Ko-fi account, where by subscribing to the specific tiers I've created for it, you can get access to some or all of my full-length reactions, which includes cartoons, short live-action TV series, long live-action TV series, and movie full-length reactions. Alternatively, you can also just stick with the YouTube versions of these reactions. It's completely up to you, though it's always appreciated when you do decide to support me. And yeah, enough chit chat about things that you don't care about. Let's just get into the reaction in 3, 2, 1.
Akhenaten, capital city of the revered king Tutankhamun, and one of the most enlightened kingdoms of all the land. His rule was one of peace and prosperity for his people, and so they loved and revered him. Tutankhamun, emanation of the sun god Ra, lord of two worlds, Namatra.
Love the visuals, honestly. Just like the Mummy, it looks very visually appealing so far. You know, the one thing that I do remember about this movie is that I'm not a big fan of the actor for Tutankhamun.
Ra to protect mankind from evil.
Like, he was wonky and weird when I was a
Under
kid.
his rule, the people thrived, and it was a time of prosperity. The gods had blessed.
There was definitely also some homophobia from my side thrown at him because at a specific scene he does kind of like act it out in a very flamboyant way. So I apologize for ever feeling like that.
Armed now with the Emerald Tablet that opened a portal between this world and theirs.
Oh
the
my
demons
god,
entered
I had completely forgotten about those bat freaks.
the watchful eyes
What?
of Tutankhamun. The demons took possession of mankind, allowing evil to flourish from the inside. The
I
very
had
worst
completely
of
forgotten about
burst
those things'
into service.
existence.
Ra ita imianit patenta. It's better.
Yet the evil in human souls.
Man,
seek
we're
out
really
and fill the
getting a
sky.
lot of goddamn
Darkness
exposition.
was taken
Holy
in
shit.
preparation for the ultimate.
How do you manage to screw up a CGI for a shadow? That looks so weird. I like the look of those wings. They actually look pretty good.
There was only one thing Tutankhamun truly feared. Set.
Oh
the great
my
beast,
god.
Evil incarnate.
Oh my god, that definitely does not look as real as I remember it. Though it weirdly still looks super freaky, what the heck. I love its design. This movie is what instilled fear of hell in me, I feel like. Because this is what I see if I imagine the devil. Like Satan. This is what I see. That design creeped me the fuck out. Especially like the skin around his neck. That shit was so freaky.
With the Emerald Tablet shattered, the portal between worlds was closing. For centuries, there have been those who dedicated and risked their lives to finding the lost pieces of the tablet. I too have been on the insatiable quest to unearth the legendary artifact. This quest has taken me to some of the most dangerous and uninhabitable regions of the planet. My name is Danny Fremont, and I am an archaeologist.
I remember actually liking Danny Fremont a lot. I definitely remember his goddamn name
Stolen from my grasp by the
to this day.
powerful
It's a
Hellfire
cool name
Council.
for a character, honestly.
My research now has taken me to an ice cave.
He was an impactful character. He was my Indiana Jones.
Short-lived.
Being the contrarian that I am, I obviously cannot like the popular version of Indiana Jones, and at this point even Rico Kono is pretty popular, so this is my Indiana Jones. Man, that's a hell of a crevice. It didn't look like there was that big of a crevice a second ago.
Fremont.
Wait, you are already here? This early, are you kidding me? Whoa! When did you become that badass of a fighter? You know, I actually first saw this guy, Sinclair. His actor, I first saw him in this before seeing him in The Mummy.
Unfortunately for you, Professor Sinclair, the first 3 Emerald Tablets will do nothing without the 4th.
Unfortunately for you, I've got the tablets.
The Hellfire Council is a secret society comprised of the world's
And back with the
wealthiest,
exposition
most
again.
powerful and aristocrats. Its goal is simple: world domination through the powers of the occult and black magic.
Also, this was my Illuminati when I was a kid.
Figures as members.
Hey!
Now, in this 20th century, the council.
The fuck are you
thrives
doing here? Of course, this guy is gonna be
prosperity.
part of like a fucking Illuminati club. He literally has the face and eyes for it. You know, with how much exposition and narration there is so far, I'd rather fucking read this as a book story.
Here is one of the many treasure maps to the tomb of Tutankhamun.
You know, it's gonna be a little hard to adjust to saying Tutankhamun instead of Tutankhamon, because that's how it's pronounced in my language, and I'm so used to saying it like that. Who knows, maybe it's gonna turn out to be super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Dig down 7 kilometers. Can anyone tell me why this map is a fake?
You can't dig 7 kilometers down.
Not even today.
Wait, who the hell are you?
We can't let this get out of hand. Was it for nothing that we caused the Great War?
Wait, you caused World War One?
May I please?
Why am I not
address the
surprised?
council? This is all unnecessary.
But this guy seems so familiar.
Total world control.
Oh, all right, all right. Tell us how your grand master plan is going to come about.
By means of the 4 emerald tablets.
Ah, yes, that reminds me.
I can't put it, goddammit, it's like on the tip of my fucking brain and I cannot figure it out. Who is this guy? I'm gonna hopefully not forget to put it in the reaction during the editing if I figure it out. You know, this is honestly a pretty cool story, regardless of the quality of this. The fact that this has not been like remade into like a more sophisticated and like good story, I'm surprised. They fucking rebooted the movie. Why not this?
All point to the existence of a pharaoh named Tutankhamun. He lived and died.
And he was barely an anybody IRL. The only reason why he is as famous as he is in this modern age is because he was nobody back then. So his tomb was not really something people were interested to find. Because he was not an important person.
We could use that power for peace.
Also, I love how this movie is kind of paralleling Danny and Sinclair,
Hellfire Council will
with both of them explaining everything to a different audience. That's pretty cool. I'm also kind of surprised not anybody on YouTube has like reviewed or reacted to this movie. I couldn't find anything important to it like that.
Don't tell me you paid for the privilege of being ripped off.
I know this one is real.
Man, thank God I have subtitles. I cannot understand her accent whatsoever.
Do you want the good news or the bad news?
The bad news.
Fake.
How do you know?
The paper. It's landscape, certainly very old, but higher than papyrus used in 1332 BC.
Did they overdub some of her lines? Because it did not sound like she was actually speaking there.
Don't you understand? If Sinclair and the Hellfire Council ever get control of all 4 pieces of the Emerald Tablet, they'll have the power to control the entire world.
How the hell do you know of that council,
You
Danny?
guys can grasp how huge this is.
You need to drink one hell of a lot more than we do.
You know, it's reputed to be in Tutankhamun's tomb.
You're kidding, right? Every treasure in the world's reputed to be in Tut's tomb. Unfortunately, you have no idea where the tomb is.
Yeah, but neither does Sinclair.
After years of painstaking and sometimes painful research,
Can we stop with the exposition? I'm so sick of it. Jesus Christ, it's been fucking 15 minutes and like 95% of that has been exposition.
which, according to my calculations, will take approximately 327 years. However, I have a few tricks up my sleeve to narrow that down. Don't be surprised if I uncover
Sleeve?
two.
Well, I meant slaves.
Think what
We have
solutions
slaves
I may find.
to help us with that.
Answers.
You're the most generous man in the entire West.
Don't you get technical with me.
I work for the head of Antiquities and I wanted to shut down these frauds.
Leave the kids alone.
Why are you encouraging these kids?
The Bearcat, they're just trying to make a living.
1332 BC. BC stands for before Christ. They could not know Jesus was going to be born. They're making a joke out of Egyptology. Justin, we're starting to get respectability from the scientific community.
I feel like this movie is probably making a joke out of Egyptology, but who am I to point out hypocrisy? Oh my god, I remember this guy. It's so wild how the fucking memories are flooding into my head as I'm watching this movie. It's like, you know how you remember songs as a whole, but you don't remember specific verses or whatever? Unless it's like the chorus or something like that. And you can only remember the whole song as you are listening to it. I feel exactly like that as I'm watching this movie. I don't remember specific scenes, but as I'm watching it, it's flowing into my head. And I'm remembering them. It's so wild. What? Well, show me the whole movie, why don't you? Oh wow, they actually are, what the fuck? That was like the trailer for this fucking movie, what the hell?
If he could find the third tablet, why not the fourth? He finds it, I take it.
Enough. I'll handle Fremont. I'll simply ruin him. By the time that we finish with him, he won't even be able to prove that he exists.
So he's gonna become legendary 5,000 years later, just like Tutankhamun.
How dare you close my class?
Professor Freeman, I'm sorry to inform you that the university is no longer in need of your services.
I have a contract.
That contract was signed under false pretense.
What?
You claim that you had a doctorate from Ohio State. Well, we just received a letter. We have no record of a Daniel Fremont ever having attended Ohio State University.
This is a lie. I went here from 1910 to 1914.
Danny, I'm sorry, but the university has no options.
That's bullshit.
It's the Hellfire Council, isn't it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh. The fact that you say that, you're lying.
Because I'm too close to the truth.
And what truth is that?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
My map.
No money?
No money.
No money, no map.
Give me the map. I might just let you live.
You should have just started with that, my man. Oh, come on. Why? Just because he fucking stood up to you? Why? That's fucking bullshit. Why kill the poor guy? What? What? Dude, I think you should be a little bit more fucking shocked by what you just saw. The tone of this movie is so fucking weird. It's kind of hard to understand what exact expectations, or should I say reaction, I should have when it comes to it. Like, what should I take seriously? What should I, like, laugh at, you know? It's such a weird tone. It's kind of serious, kind of educational, but also kind of corny, especially with these effects.
Always being honest with you. We've decided against publishing the new book.
What? I'm one of your top writers. I've spent the last 5 years sweating blood to write this book. What the hell is going on?
Well, let's just say it doesn't fit into the company's current philosophy.
Oh, fuck off with that business speak bullshit.
You got a letter, didn't you? Show me the letter.
Demand you cease and desist from publishing any further books by Daniel Fremont, as they represent the worst kind of pseudoscience. If you do choose to continue working with Fremont, we will no longer have our own works published by your company, subject to ridicule by association. It's signed by most of our top writers.
Mm-hmm. What some of your top writers? Sinclair?
I'm on to something here. Don't you understand? Why else would the powers that be try to shut me down? Doesn't the truth mean anything to you?
Of course it means something to me, Danny.
Staying in business means more.
It's capitalism, bro. What do you expect? What do you expect, white boy?
Egyptology is about about more than magical, mystical, nonsensical pharaoh tales. Sit down.
Sinclair, if the Emerald Tablets lack magical, mystical powers, why'd you steal them from me?
Fremont.
Exactly. Good fucking question. Because he's an Illuminati fucking Nazi fuck.
I know you're behind that smear.
Of course, I'm behind every calamity that's ever happened to
Yes, you are actually.
Working on any new books lately?
As a matter of fact, I am. It's about a group of powerful men who call themselves the Hellfire Council.
Gosh. Sounds like a bestseller to me.
It might actually be, you
Well,
asshole.
that's rich.
Here's the problem. I wasn't bankrolled through Oxford, and I didn't die fighting in the Great War.
Now you're getting personal.
Oh, so he's a fucking draft dodger. The thing is, I don't blame anybody for like avoiding war. I would 100% do that. I'd run. I would sleep in a forest. I would fucking eat dirt. But I would rather eat dirt than fight in a war. Even to protect my own country, if I gotta be honest. Because I value my existence more than my country's or whatever. And that could be a selfish thing, but it is. But at the same time, I'm okay with being ridiculed for that. I'm willing to give up being ridiculed for survival. So I'm okay with Danny mocking him for that. And especially because it's really annoying when old farts start wars and evade joining themselves personally into wars, but are okay with youngsters fighting said wars. Basically like what's happening with the Ukraine war and Putin. He's throwing people my age at the meat grinder, but him and his buddies are gonna die of old age most likely.
Maybe you don't exist. Maybe I'm just dreaming out this whole miserable conversation.
I know you think I'm wrong about everything I believe in. But you can't let him get away with this.
Get away with it? Get away with what?
What's with the transitions just going to dark screen? That is so weird.
I want that. Have it sent to my house.
Hey, another face that I remember. That butt fuck.
In the museum, I can't just turn them over to you.
No.
Or should I say butt-faced fuck? I remember his fat face.
I have thus far found no obvious mistakes. I am not yet saying it's genuine. There are further tests to run.
He definitely sounds like he has been dubbed afterwards. I think probably all of the characters who are not like white westerners were probably dubbed over later. Hey, remember this guy? The one thing that I remember about this guy's character is that he actually gets some character development. Can't wait to see it happen again. How are you getting away with that? And he's acting drunk?
Are you trying to kill me with a dry throat?
Man, I don't know if I just relate to this guy or whether this guy and watching this movie has influenced the person that I have become, because I feel like I see a lot of myself in this guy.
It's you and me.
No chippies.
I've got something better than cash. It's the real map to King Tut's tomb. It's worth a fortune.
So where did you get it?
For you.
Ooh, sneaky! Run, Danny! Run! You know, I feel like a chase like this one, in this day and age, would 100% be done with CGI. I hate to be harping on this once again in a reaction like this, but the kind of things that were done practically in the early 2000s, even in shitty productions like this one, it's just sad that even a shitty production like this has better special effects and actually does things for real, you know? Compared to movies, TV shows, whatever it may be nowadays. Nowadays everything would be CGI. Like they're actually running with like fucking camels. And people are running out of the way in the last second. Now that is obviously not real. But that looked very fucking real. And like those animals getting scared to the side, that looks real. Now that one I wouldn't mind being replaced with CGI, but you get what I mean. It's like back then, even in shitty stuff like this, the fact that there was effort put into practical effects just added to the quality, you know? You know, Danny and his brothers really remind me of me and my cousins when we were kids. Like, we even kinda look like them a little bit. In terms of personality and like our relationships to each other, the way they were.
Or they leave us without the dregs. And thousands of coins. The British are welcome to them.
Stop this nonsense.
Our job is to protect these treasures, not ship them off to the highest bidder.
Don't tell me my job. You work for me and do as I say.
Who is paying you off?
How dare you insinuate that I could be bribed?
Well, are you?
Okay, so weird. Now in this scene, he's not being dubbed over.
You are fired.
I'm fired. I've been here longer than you.
Either you leave on your own or have you...
I don't understand what's with the fucking dubbing and voices in this movie. It's so weird. And the accents are so weird. Like, obviously when I watched it as a kid, I watched it in the Bulgarian dub, which is my language. So I didn't have to deal with any of this shit. And I guess that's why I loved it so much, because so far those things are an incredible drag to this movie.
That could be where we need today. Yes. Absolutely. That's where we need today.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he's buying what you're selling, Danny.
I think they just figured out they're not getting paid.
We need to leave. Now, we need to...
I love that face. White people fucking over Egyptians or Africans in general for... It's just to tell us all this time, isn't it?
We've heard about a diamond mine in Brazil.
You know, I feel like these two are probably some of the best actors that we've gotten so far.
Brazil. I need you guys here.
Sorry, Danny. Sorry.
I remember really liking the brothers when I was a kid.
My men are working 12 hours a day. We cannot work any longer.
I'm not going to waste valuable time standing here arguing. You can either get back to work or you can quit. Which is it to be?
I'll stay.
Hurry up! Your lines!
Hey, I know that word from The Mummy. Ella, MC.
You're wasting your...
Don't know exactly what it means, but it's probably something like, come, do this or whatever. Something along those lines.
You need someone like me. I mean, your cartouche from the Second Dynasty is labeled from the Fifth Dynasty. Your statue from Ramses V was discovered in 1906, not 1908. And Ramses died of smallpox, not polio. Need I go on? Well, thank you for your time. Please, I'm not in the mood for you.
I heard you were fired. I want to hire you.
Ha! Are you crazy? Just being seen with you would kill my reputation.
It doesn't sound like you have much of a reputation left.
Thanks for reminding me.
I can't actually pay you yet.
I knew it.
Wait, hold on.
Your obsession with Sinclair is transparent. Face it. You're jealous.
I don't think it's jealousy, lady.
Jealous? Hardly.
You said he stole the 3 emerald tablets from you, am I right?
Yes.
The key to his whole plot
Then how come he donated them to the Egyptian History Museum?
What?
3 emerald
I
diamonds.
guarantee you those are
In fact, my
fake.
sister
I'm
discovered
pretty
this
sure I even remember them being fake.
I want nothing more to do with you.
I mean, just because he gave them to the fucking museum doesn't mean he's not a fucking fraud. He stole them! He still stole them and stole the achievement of finding them from Danny, so he's still a piece of shit!
We cannot work any longer under these conditions.
Workers' rights, hell yeah! Fuck Elon Musk!
Alright, calm down. I guarantee you, changes will be made.
Yes, they will be.
Now, back to work.
Wow, you guys really give up quickly. You have not been given anything!
Daoud! Sinclair did this.
Man, this movie's fucking pace is relentless. It's like, whoop, well, what we clearly set up was gonna be happening, it happens.
Fear is a great motivator, is it not?
Oh, cheer up.
Don't worry. I always looked after you. Come on.
Does every one of these fucking Egyptian movies have to have like a stupid lackey to the bad guy?
Here's some cash for extra pocket money.
No, we couldn't accept your money.
Oh.
We've got pride.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, a little bit of money would be pretty good for us. Yeah, thanks.
That's true brotherly relationship.
You're not gonna
I'm personally glad that, even though I'm an only child, I got basically like first cousins who, the way we grew up, they were basically like my brothers. So I still got the experience of having brothers and a sister without having actual brothers and sisters. Because we basically grew up together, you know? I mean, he's clearly saying Tutankhamun. Why is this guy giving him visions of basically the coolest parts of this fucking movie? I'm actually really excited to get to those cool parts. It's probably gonna be in part 3 of this reaction, or maybe even 2, I don't know. Oh yeah, that's completely fucking normal. Shit just spawns on human skin, you know? Like every fucking Tuesday.
It's forming some sort of pattern.
I don't think that's how that works, my man.
You know what? It's a map.
That's not like a leaf. And that must be such a pain in the ass to dig. Because you like have to dig so many holes so close together, because there's a possibility that you're just not exactly where it needs, you're just like a few meters to the side.
It's actually true.
Well, you haven't found it yet, you found something.
What the? Hell of a way to say bon voyage! You can't go now. I found it.
You better be right about this.
Tutankhamun's gold mask.
It's real. You did it! That's so loud, that's so loud!
We have to keep this between ourselves.
At least 10 pounds of gold. This alone will make us rich.
What do you want us to do?
We have to get a whole bunch of diggers without alerting Sinclair. We have to throw him off track.
I have an idea.
Oh, I remember! They're gonna put the mask in his place of digging, thinking that it's actually, that it's gonna lead him to think that that's where the thing is. That's smart. That's actually a really smart idea. Huh? I feel like that kind of destroys the price of it, you know, and how important it is by just scribbling your initials onto it.
We're following a map that appeared on some crazy guy's body doesn't exactly help.
Only someone truly crazy could have received that message. They're the only ones open to it.
Can't really blame the diggers.
No, but we can't dig it out ourselves.
So where are you gonna get people to dig for you? Where you run away from last time? You're gonna get your ass kicked.
Back to the fort. They'll be glad to see me.
Oh, definitely.
Kill you. You're braver or stupider than I thought.
A little bit of both.
Either way, it makes no difference.
I found the real map. I need your help to find Tut's tomb.
How do I know you're not gonna cheat me again?
Because if I do, you most certainly will kill me.
You better believe I'll kill you.
I like this guy. So you're also gonna use slave labor. I don't know how I feel about supporting the main character who does that.
You don't have to take me. I'm an incredibly hard worker. You won't regret it, I promise.
Rembrandt? The twerp's a lunatic. Thinks he's an artist with the dynamite. He even names his explosions.
Oh, I remember this guy.
Release.
So much for the French. At least we got our workers.
They didn't get the French.
We did it.
The mad lad did it. Hell yeah.
Nice scarf, sweetheart.
You like it so much, I can give you a matching one, sweetheart.
Incredible. This means we're only days away.
Don't be ridiculous. This means we're nowhere near the tomb.
How can you say that?
The mask was found in soil too loose to have been buried for centuries. Someone's trying to throw us off the scent.
Ooh, he's smart.
What are you saying?
Someone has planted the mask precisely so we'd find it.
But who?
You're not the sharpest knife in the box.
No shit.
Fremont.
Okay, it's been about 50 minutes. I think this is as good place as any to have a little bit of a break. Yeah. It's gonna be a little bit annoying for you guys who are watching the full length to have to sync it up again, but it is what it is. So yeah. I don't really want to say too much. So far, it's actually been pretty entertaining. So far, it's super fun. We're actually going to be getting to some of the actual entertaining stuff of these stories. So I guess see you in part 2.